Welcome to Barbara's Bulletin. I'm your host, Barbara, and we're glad you're joining us today for a rundown of the latest news from around the world. We've got a lot to cover, but first, let's dive into a story that's been making headlines in recent hours. Reports have emerged that the United States is planning to deport a group of migrants to Libya, despite concerns about the country's human rights record and the treatment of asylum seekers. According to sources, including Reuters and the New York Times, the deportations could happen as soon as this week, although it's worth noting that the plans are not yet confirmed and may still be subject to change. The U.S. State Department has previously criticized Libya's harsh and life-threatening prison conditions and arbitrary arrest or detention, citing the fact that migrants, including children, have no access to immigration courts or due process. Human rights organizations have also documented widespread abuses and torture of migrants in Libyan detention centers. The news has sparked condemnation from aid agencies and NGOs that operate in the region, who argue that Libya is not a safe place for migrants and refugees. They point to evidence of survivors who have been subjected to torture, beatings, and other forms of abuse while in transit or in detention camps. On the other hand, the Trump administration has been pushing for tougher immigration policies, including increased deportations and stricter border controls. The administration has argued that these measures are necessary to maintain national security and protect American jobs. It's a complex and contentious issue, with different perspectives and opinions on what the right course of action should be. We'll continue to follow this story and provide updates as more information becomes available. For now, it's worth noting that Libya's government has denied any involvement in the reported deportation plans and has stated that it rejects the use of its territory as a destination for deporting migrants without its knowledge or consent. We'll be keeping a close eye on this developing story and exploring different viewpoints and analysis in the coming days. In the meantime, we want to hear from you. What do you think about this issue? Should the U.S. be deporting migrants to Libya? Or are there alternative solutions that could be explored? We'll be right back with more of today's top news on Barbara's Bulletin. Welcome back to Barbara's Bulletin. We're glad you're still with us as we dive into our middle segment. Today, we're discussing a significant development in Australian law enforcement. The New South Wales Police Force has bid farewell to its first female commissioner. Karen Webb, after her tenure, came to an abrupt end. Now let's take a closer look at the story behind Commissioner Webb's departure. Appointed by former Premier Dominic Perrottet in 2022, Webb brought with her a stellar policing career and a commitment to integrity. However, her time as commissioner was marked by controversy, particularly in regards to her handling of high-profile cases involving police officers. Two incidents that drew significant criticism were the death of Claire Nowland, who died after being tasered by a serving officer, and the alleged double murder of two young men by another police officer. In both instances, Commissioner Webb was criticized for her delayed response to the media and her perceived lack of transparency. Despite these challenges, Commissioner Webb also oversaw several positive reforms during her tenure, including increased focus on domestic violence and sexual assault, as well as efforts to address the notoriously blokey culture within the force. Her legacy will likely be complex and multifaceted, reflecting both the accomplishments and the controversies that defined her time as commissioner. As we consider the implications of Commissioner Webb's departure, it's essential to acknowledge the intense rivalries and power dynamics at play within the NSW police force. The appointment of a new commissioner will undoubtedly be closely watched, with many wondering whether Deputy Commissioner Mal Lanyon, who has been working closely with the Premier's department, might be next in line for the top job. As we wrap up this segment, it's clear that the story of Karen Webb's tenure as NSW Police Commissioner is one of both achievement and adversity. We'll continue to follow developments and provide updates as more information becomes available. Stay tuned for our final story of the day, right here on Barbara's Bulletin. Welcome back to Barbara's Bulletin. As we wrap up today's show, I'd like to bring your attention to a significant event happening in Russia, the 80th anniversary of Victory Day, which commemorates the end of World War II. The Russian government is using this occasion to showcase its military strength and unity, with a grand parade on Red Square featuring troops from various countries, including Myanmar and Burkina Faso. According to reports, President Putin will use this opportunity to project a sense of victory in Ukraine, despite the ongoing conflict. The Kremlin has also invited several foreign leaders, including Chinese President Xi Jinping, to attend the celebrations. This move is seen as an attempt to demonstrate Russia's international influence and counter claims of isolation. However, not everyone is convinced that this spectacle will have the desired effect. Some analysts argue that the parade will only serve to further polarize Russian society, with many viewing it as a propaganda tool for the Putin regime rather than a genuine celebration of national unity. It's also worth noting that the Russian government has been criticized for its handling of historical narratives, particularly with regards to World War II. Some historians have accused the Kremlin of distorting facts and promoting a sanitized version of events to suit its own ideological agenda. As we consider the complexities of this situation, it's essential to remember that the legacy of World War II is still deeply felt in Russia and around the world. While the Russian government may be using Victory Day as a tool for political gain, it's crucial to acknowledge the significance of this anniversary and the sacrifices made by those who fought against fascism and oppression. In conclusion, the 80th anniversary of Victory Day serves as a reminder of the ongoing tensions between Russia and the international community. As we move forward, it's essential to approach these issues with nuance and understanding, recognizing both the historical significance of this anniversary and the complexities of modern geopolitics. That's all for today's Barbara's Bulletin. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, stay engaged.